Hello, America. I decided to come to you talk to you today about what's going on. It was on my mind. I was watching some YouTube clips and videos and looking at the news, and I'm just amazed at how this U.S. shutdown just taking off. Earlier, I was at the airport and I was thinking about doing a live uh, stream there, but I decided not to. I was tired. I fell asleep a little bit actually at the parking lot down the street from the airport. So when I woke up, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But when I got home, I was looking at some videos and listening to people across America in different states. Where I was a lady in Virginia, and she was talking about the shutdown. And I'm like, you guys don't realize this was happening. You can't tell this was going to happen with the Section 8 EBT, healthcare, all this fraud that's been going on. Every American knows. You go to the hospitals, man. You go to the emergency room, take a kid to the emergency room. You go to some checkup, get a cold like the flu over the last 3 years. We didn't had colds, flus. All of a sudden, we go to the hospital and it's packed with people that's not even from this country. Come on, guys. You know they're not from this country. You know they don't have no benefits. That's off the top. So none of our business. But I'm just saying, you know that's going to cause a problem. We got poor people in America. We know the poor, the indigent, and the poor get taken care of from the government. So now you got these bunch of people in here just getting these benefits that we normally would get, and like some of these news channels was talking about, we had to sit. I sat in Texas, in Washington, California, not California, but Texas and Washington for sure. I was gonna go in New York at one time because I got a little cold. I was gonna get checked out, and I was like, man, no, these lines are too hecka long. This before all this really popped off. It was popping off, but not the level that it is now. That we're really looking at just like, hey man, there's a problem. And now people are waking up to it because now the money is affected. We're a capitalistic nation, man. It's about the dollar bill. At the end of the day, everything's paid with finance currency. Let's cut the crap. Let's be honest. You could play with 10 and all you want. If you grew up in 2000, yeah, you're gonna have a different mindset because all the institutions are, a lot of institutions are catering to this different ideologies. That's what you learn in college. You learn the different ideologies, but it's seen as like a pack. It's a package now in college. I graduated in recent years, and I've had that experience, But no one can shape my mind. I learn from the material. I ask questions. I go in there and learn and think and create and develop skill sets that I can use in a professional settings. But I didn't go in there and indoctrinate my mind. I was too old for that. And so I seen what was happening in the institutions, and I talked to a lot of people. And they were saying the same things. But hey, business. You got to be able to separate ideology from a dialogue. Check that out. Ideology from dialogue. I could dialogue with you, but I don't have to agree with what you're saying. No, I don't agree with that. That's an ideology that I don't agree with, and it's okay. That's what the college platform is supposed to be. We had sophists back in the 30s. We have different speakers all through the century that spoke at universities. Some was liked, some was disliked, but they had their own thought process. We have people that was pushed into systems. So there's always reason, but it seems like it's a package now. It seems like it's very formulated when you're in the institutions. Now you look out in society, and they jump out in society, and they had that ideology from high school, junior highs, to high school to college, and they come out in the last 10, 12 years, been indoctrinated with this philosophy, and they think this is supposed to be the way America's supposed to be. No, you're one generation, and it's actually almost two generations. But no, this is not how America is supposed to be. All through since we had different thought processes, like the different movements, feminist movement. We had the black movement. We had the socialist movement at different times in institutions. Now we seem to got we have different people have communist ideals. I don't agree with none of that at all. But we have shown that in media and different things and in newspapers all over the century. So there's always been some push for ideologies across America, United States of America, the Western thought. But people try, people push things, and we're a free society, so you have the right to freedom of speech as an American citizen. Do I agree with everything? No, but I think you have the right, because that's one thing we want to be different from any country in the world. That you come here, you have the right to speak your mind, but you ain't got to You can't indoctrinate people. You could try, but this is land of the free, home of the brave. So you could try your ideologies. But now, the system that's been put in place in the last 30, 40 years, literally, has made this generation think that's how it's always been. And it's not. It's not. If you go back and look at the history, American history, there's a time when food stamps came into this. There was no food stamps at one time. There was no Social Security. You think that's the way it always been because that's what you had always known. I'm sorry, generation. Listen, I'm talking to this generation that thinks that's how it was. There was a time there was no food stamps. There was a time when food stamps was a shame to be on food stamps. There was a time when it was needed because of it wasn't shame if your husband died or your wife died and you had kids and you had to have support to raise kids. Doesn't matter not the gender, the male or female, but it's generally the woman in their eras, in the traditional eras, that was like that. And the programs that men died at wars, and they come home, so the government had to take care, support that family to grow up, and the young male could be old enough to come back and help his family. So there was reason for that. That was character integrity. People had virtue. People had principles. Not saying they don't have them today, but you see a definite difference. People got their hand out. Like I heard so many people talking about, I can't wait till my food stamps coming, my EBT. It ain't your EBT. It's the government EBT. Have I had EBT? Yes. Had more than once? Yes. Do I live on it? No. But did I ask for cash? No. I just need a little bit of help for food because I made enough money to cover certain things, but I didn't make enough, so I had to get support. Because as I said, they're single fathers. I didn't ask for stuff, but people live off these programs. Section 8, come on, man. Healthcare benefits. And everybody needs help at different times. I'm not gonna say that, but when you live on it, when you manipulate it, when you cause things to do that against the principles of what the purpose it was for, then you got to be looked. That got to be looked into. I'm sad for Americans that's been on these programs for 15 years. That's a sad thing. But there was a reason for these programs, and now they're being the government, the voters, the American citizens are voting more with a clearer voice, clearer mind, and the Congress is getting that, and the powers that be are recognizing that, and there's a shift in the American system, and we're seeing they're dealing with that budget, the monetary budget, and that has to be addressed. 37 trillion in debt. Come on, guys. Some things got to be looked upon, and there's been some changes set in place, and it's understandable. It's understandable, and now people are being affected all over America. Like people got apartments. They live off Section 8. They live off the people that got Section 8 housing, where they got guaranteed income. Now, you as a multiplex owner, you got to get out there and find your people that can afford your apartment. Now you got to put work in. Now you just get them easy checks, or you just can't wait to get 6 to 8 people because that's an easy check coming in, and you can live off of it. Now you got to get out there and find. You got to go advertise again like they did in the 90s. You got to go advertise and look for customers. You got to pick between the customers, the renters. You got to put work in now, more work, and a lot of sections. I talk to people that I know, people all over the country that have properties, and I say, man, you guys gotta kick in now, and you gotta kick in to the reality. This is such as life, There's a free ride. So you thought it was just the people that's receiving it, but there's other small businesses that benefit off of these. Little small convenience stores that used to get EBT. Now EBT is getting knocked off. You didn't get that clientele, that money that you used to live on. You complain about people using EBT, but you kept taking them in because that covered a portion of your rental, your rental property. that covered a lot of your benefits. So now you got to face the reality, what's going on. Nobody gonna be coming to your stores. You got to start advertising your business. You got to get out there and promote. You got to look at the price point. Is this sufficient for you? That's America. We're capitalist. We're entrepreneur, bootstrap country. You build yourself up. If it doesn't make no money no more, you find something else. This is the reality of life in America. There's no guarantees. You create your guarantees if there can be. You build yourself up, and then you're always moving out of business. This is the nature of business. So things are changing. Healthcare, all these nurses getting laid off because all this money, a lot of this money was bogus. They was like telling the government they need more people, because they had this overwhelming amount of people in this country that didn't have enough nurses to cover the work. So now that they realizing they're kicking these people off the programs, they realize, hey, we got a lot of nurses that don't really have no work. We don't need them. The possibility, I'm just saying the labor. I don't know for sure, but I can imagine that's part of that's taken in consideration. So they start laying off. So I'm sitting on YouTube seeing nurses getting laid off by the boatload. And I'm like, hey, man, there was no guarantees. Keep your skills up. You know, if you're a clinical nurse, if you're a nurse and a hospital nurse, you know, you might have to go to a nursing homes. You might have to go to home care to get your hours. You better keep your skill set sharp. And I think a lot of people got comfortable. So they're on the internet complaining like, I'm losing my job. They're cutting my hours back. Hey, this is America, man. So a lot of fraud is being challenged. A lot of fraud has been taken away. So what I'm saying, there's going to be a lot of changes in America across the American landscape, from real estate, from healthcare, from restaurants, from grocery store, convenience stores, just every aspect of American society that's going to be touched. Because a lot of people, millions and millions of people, been living good. Or like they say in the old days, a lot of people in America was living high on the hog when they didn't really was in that space. They thought they was. They thought they deserved, because that's all they knew when they came around. But the reality is, no, that was bogus. That was, as one of my kids say, that was inflated opportunities, positions. They really weren't needed. And certain administration did certain things. Not saying no one, but I'm saying this administration seems to be correcting a lot of things that now Americans on all of the partisans are seeing, like the corrections. Like, you know, there are always going to be a group of people that don't want things to change. So what we had to realize is, first, last year, 2024, and this year, we seen a lot of people fighting because they didn't want revelation, things were revealed to the American people. So now we can see clear. We can wipe our eyes and see clearly, like, oh, this was bogus. This was a problem. And now the Americans are waking up and seeing, oh, no, we don't need that. Not being rude. No American want no one to suffer. Let's get that straight. No American wants somebody to be tormented. No. We're a First Nation. We have a lot of privilege. We grew up able to think clearly, able to feel, able to understand. Some of us came up in the harder times, but we still had a privilege level. No American want anybody to suffer. We don't want no undocumented. We don't want, but things got to be addressed and recorrected. We're seeing what's happening in the country of Mexico. I love the country of Mexico. I love the Mexican people. But they're seeing now that the things are being blocked off. They're seeing the problems because people are trying to stay there. And the government is saying, the president of Mexico is saying, no, we want to help, but you got to go do it the right way. And they're blocking them from the beginning, right off the bat. Now that the borders has been closed off on both sides, the Mexican government has closed it off and the American government has closed it off. So now they're like, hey, keep pushing, keep moving through. You can apply, go to Mexico City, whatever you guys doing, you can apply. But if this doesn't happen, you got to move up. They got men at the border. They already started way before. You're seeing what's really happening in the world. And Mexico is a powerful country. Don't get it wrong. America is powerful. All the top college countries are powerful. But don't slip on Mexico. Mexico ain't no little When you compare, what I'm trying to get you to see, when you compare all the Latin American countries, think about the GDP of all the Latin American countries. Think about all the networks that Mexico have with the world. Think about the infrastructure Mexico have. Mexico is a powerful nation when it comes to compared to Latin America and Spain. It's right up there, if not up there with Spain. And Spain has got UK, United Kingdom there to support it. It's a European country. But on this side, in North America, Mexico, don't get it twisted. Think about it. Mexico got Canada and United States, like Spain got. But when you compare it to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala, all these other countries, Colombia, all these other Latin American countries, who has the biggest GDP? Mexico. So therefore, Mexico has the influence. Mexico has the power. Mexico, I'm sorry, got the pop. As we say in America, Mexico got the pop. Mexico got the power position. Hey, don't get it twisted. Mexico ain't nothing to play with. When it comes to Latin countries and the power, Mexico is North America, bro. Don't get it twisted by far. Mexico is powerful. Now I'm setting the tone to let you know. Now look at Mexico from that perspective, and look at people coming from all them other a country with 14, 20 million people in there. Mexico City got 20 million people, bruh. Just one city, the capital, got 20 million, bruh. 18, 20 million right there. Don't get it twisted. Mexico ain't nothing to play with. The power that it possesses. Now you look at the other Latin countries. I was in the country, Guatemala. I've been to Mexico many times. Hey, I'm on my best behavior because I know, like America, Canada, Mexico ain't nothing to play with. I ain't trying to go to no jail in Mexico. I don't want to. I love the country of Mexico. I visit many times, but I'm not trying to be. I know I'm in a country. I know I'm in a sovereign nation. You understand what I'm trying to say? So Mexico, now people they blocked out the United States on the American side, and now Mexico blocked them out because they don't want them to come through. So they're saying, hey, you got to move because we can see this one big powers are playing. Now you can see Mexico is in the circle. Big powers are playing. Mexico realized America closed it off, and it's going to be 4 years, and it started early. They thought it was going to be a little like anybody, like it's been previously, but we see that it's not. This administration ain't playing. I'm taking the name off of it. I'm gonna say Trump, but let's talk like how countries talk. This administration, this particular administration, is not playing. So they blocking things off. So them people got to go somewhere. You can't let people die in the desert in the hot 100-degree weather. So them people gonna start acting up in northern Mexico, and they gonna not. Mexico got to take care of his citizens. So then they're gonna say y'all gotta move. So what we're seeing right now, they're making them move. So they're showing you but then they tell you in the southern part of Mexico, like where we're at. In Mexico, the southern part of Mexico, nobody talk about. They're showing it now in the media. They got all kind of Mexican military federales at the border cutting off from Guatemala because they're saying y'all can't come in. So what you think Mexico's doing? They're gonna get to Mexico City, but they're gonna be like, hey, go back, because the people of Mexico, the citizens of Mexico, don't want to go to their parks. They don't want to feel what we felt. They saw what the United States went through, and they don't want to experience that. This is reality. So we're dealing with the world stage now, countries, sovereignty, and now America's waking up, and we're starting to do more now, because now people are speaking the truth now. Now people are waking up. All this silliness is going away. All this disillusion is going away because now people are experiencing it. This is the real reality. We can't keep creating dollars out of the thin air and think it's going to affect. Now we're showing how it really affects it. We're going to get our budget into in order. When you got people that really don't care about the budget, and we're planning like it's nothing. This is the what reality. When you got people that really want to straighten things out and get things in order, this is what it looks like. When you put the paper, when you bear the papers out and you lay it out, and you say, this, how do we correct this? How do we get on the right track? We're way out off track. How do we get on as a nation, as a sovereign nation, America? How do we get back on track? This is how you get back on track. Section 8, healthcare, EBT, food. Clean up all the things that's not there. Take immediate the fraud away. Go through the paperwork. Look at everybody. Look at the reviews. And make them stand behind it. Start firing people that don't do the right job. Then they're held more accountable because they're going to lose their lifestyle. When people start feeling like they could lose something, they start getting in line. When people feel like somebody got their back and nothing's going to really happen, they get laxy-daisy. That's any system. We're the United States, but any system would do that. And so we're now watching, hey, you got this many cases that you just let slide through. You're fired. You're laid off. Okay, before we lay you off, we got an option. How many people, how much cut we got to do? We got enough cut? Okay, we still need these employees? Yeah, we need. Okay, you got a 30-day to get your act right. Go through all your caseload, clear it up, shows that you're credible, so that you're competent at your job, and we'll review it in 30 days. So when you put that pressure on employees, then they act accordingly, or they quit. Good. But now we save a $40,000 salary. We got rid of a problem, and now we can put somebody in there that's going to do the right job and take them cases and move it to another case that's going to do the right job. Now we saw the weakest link. We got rid of it. Now that person is going to be red flagged. You can't get no more jobs because you was incompetent. You was taking advantage of systems. And now we don't want you in we don't want you in DSHS. We don't want you in community services. We don't want you in the non-profit sector because you're non-value. So you might be an agent of something. We don't know, but we know you won't be in this position again. So these are things that's being addressed now by this administration on multiple levels and pushing people to face these facts. And now they're being held up to their level of competence and responsibilities, and they're going to be responsible for their actions, and that could come down to jail time. And once people realize that, they're like, it's time. So what I'm seeing across America, looking at YouTube clips, people are really complaining. I don't know what I'm going to do. You're going to live. That's what you're going to do. You're going to live, you're going to pivot, and you're going to adjust, and you're going to get back on your feet, and you're going to figure it out. The lady was talking, her husband was out of the job for over a year and a half. Yes, that's what happened. You're seeing how many people in this country. You're seeing what's going on. You're seeing there's a lot of educated people here. There's jobs being reduced. There's companies going out of bankrupts. There's other things that's happening. Yeah, you want to be comfortable. You think you're special than any other American. You think you're a special little snowflake. No, you just like every other American. You know how many people been out of job? You know how people are looking for jobs? I mean, people in Arizona, New York, everywhere. Florida, Texas, Missouri, Montana, Washington, Oregon, California. Been looking for work. Still looking for. I know people got jobs that they went from $100-something thousand to $80,000. They want to be back up $100-something dollars, and they're working a job and they're still looking for jobs. I know people that have been out of work for over years looking for jobs, trying to get some job to work. I see people get broke down from a $80,000 career job down to $40,000 because they had to get some income coming in to help their family. So these people I see on this internet, on YouTube and stuff, that are complaining about this, you're living a fictitious dream. This is America. You're not the only one. You're not the only special little snowflake. This is what everybody got to go through in this America. It's time to address these issues. American people, you've been eating high on the hog. I'm talking to American citizens. I'm going to give you an old saying. You've been definitely eating high on the hog. Now it's time to get to the reality, to the brass tacks. Things have changed. We're addressing things. We're going to get this budget in line. This administration will do its best, and the next administration is going to take number, because now about time this president get out of office, guess what's going to happen? The America's going to be aware, like we're getting aware. I didn't know all this stuff was happening in America. I didn't know all this corruption was going on. I know things are happening, but I didn't know at this level. Now I'm aware of things. I'm reading documents and stuff. I'm like, what? There's no accountability, and people getting away with this. So I'm learning a lot. I'm like, we got to address these issues, and we're doing it now. And I'm sad that the millions of people. You got to realize we got a country of almost 340 million, if not 340 million, or over. We're getting there. We have a country. So a few million, we don't want no one to suffer. Don't get me wrong, but you can't live off of everything for free. You got to be held accountable for your own actions. You got to pay rent. You got to get out here and live. You got to take care of your family. You got to be responsible. Well, I got 5 kids. Why did you have 5 kids? You knew at 1, 2, or 3 that this is it. You kept going further. Well, no, there's no mistakes out of 3 kids. I'm going to work 1 kid, yes. 2, no. That was a choice. 3, you're definitely choice making now. 4, 5, come on. You now you want to tell the American people, the average American Joe, or Joanne, because I don't be biased, that you got the 5 kids and now you just waking up. Cut the crap. Come on, God. America, we know better. You made choices, and now you got to deal with your choices. There's always before ABC, what do they call it? The food stamp. Before it was food stamps, it was called a different name. I don't know if y'all know that. You got to go do your research. The church did you know that only certain people got food stamps at a time in society when other groups didn't? They had to go to the church to get support, or non-profits to get support, or the community to get support. These things that we forgot about history, these was a different type of people, a generation of American people. This generation now think they deserve things, and this is where we got to shift that mentality. No, you got to work. I'm not working for no 50. I said, man, I just worked for $3 and something an hour. That was minimum wage when I started. What? Yeah, minimum wage is $3 and something. Do you know I worked the fields? Well, I'm not you. You're right. But I'm just saying, this was American history. This is what happened at times. Where the price of the house wasn't, it was equivalent. You understand? So $15 an hour and you won't work at McDonald's and you're staying at home? Come on, man. You got to wake up. You got to wake up and smell the flowers, because this is reality. Now, these jobs, what you're missing, this is the time when all you young Americans that's living at home, living on Section 8 and living all this, you should be working in food. You should work if you're down south, Whataburger, HEB. If you're on the West Coast, you should be working at Safeway, McDonald's, Starbucks. If you're in the Midwest, you should be working at Schnucks grocery store. What's that? White Castle Burger Place, fast food jumps. If you're on the East Coast, you should be working at Freddy's Steakhouse, different restaurants, fast food joints, Wendy's and stuff like that. You should work in anything you can get your hands on. Oh, I ain't working on fast food. You keep making fast food like it's a low job. That is not a low job. You want to know a low job, man? And it's still not a low job. I'm talking about from your mindset today. You Americans today, a low job today is the junkyard. You want the truth? The low job today is, are you ready? Is the recycling plant, where it's funky. Let me tell you, I worked there. The low job is in the fields. What you consider a low job, where you're working can't see all day, bro. You want to know what's the low jobs? These are the low jobs. What you consider low jobs is not low jobs, man. These are great jobs. These are easy jobs. You got machines making fries. You got burgers. I worked Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's. You understand? I did them jobs. I worked in New York City. You know, 2 jobs. I work security guard. I ain't doing no security. You better get work where you can, because now Section 8 is gone, buddy. This is reality. Life is getting serious. It's getting back to ABC 1, 2, 3. Make a decision. So, America is straightening this out, and this the voters of America done this, and this administration is going following what the voters requested, and we can't say nothing but you're right. So get in order. Don't complain. Get your life together. No one owes you anything. This is your life. You must live it. If you spread yourself thin, like these multiple people got multiple properties, sell them. You can't afford, put them on the management. That's why the management. Well, I'm not gonna get what I used to have. Hey, rep, I gotta pay these taxes. Hey, this is life. That's not fair. Hey, it is fair. Welcome to America, the real America. It's what you want to do, how you want to make it. Ain't nobody doing it for you. You were successful. Now this is the benefit of being successful. If you didn't plan it, a lot of people don't plan. You gotta plan. If you don't plan and life comes at you, this is the result you get. Now you're forced to plan, or life gonna plan for you. And this, if your stuff is out in front of the yard, this is the plan. This is the way you planned it out, and this is the way you got to deal with it. So there's no complaints to anybody. It's your life, and you got to deal with it. No one wants you to be in that situation. Don't get it twisted. Nobody wants you to be in that situation. But this is a situation you have put yourself into, and you got to deal with it. That's fair. It's life. I wish you the best. I help somebody out, but I can't help you with all what I got when I got to help my family. You got to stand on your own 2. And if you got a partner, you're on 4. You got 4 feet, 4 hands. Y'all can make things happen. So let's go. Let's go, America. Let's don't complain. Let's don't get into belly aching and stuff. Let's move forward on and start taking care of our business. And well, I ain't got that much money. Welcome to life. My grandparents didn't have that much money. They work. My granddad used to get up early in the morning, 4 and 5 in the morning, get out there in the cold, like starting now in October. And when it started getting cold, now there's different times, different seasons, and we used to put things under the oil pan to heat up the oil. So because he loved his wife so much and he wanted her to be comfortable, he'd get up 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes an hour early. Makes a cup of coffee for them. They wake up. He'd wake up early. And what he did was go out there. He'd get me up at 5, 4:40, 4:45, 5. And teaching me how to be a man, take care of family. Get out there, and we put it on the Oldsmobile, have a Maxwell, a Folgers canister, and he put a little coal in there with some little stuff, and he heat up the coal. You understand me? And then we put it on the engine block just to heat up the car to get the oil, so it won't spike or whatever. The word is called a spiking, but it was something they did. Only mechanics know what he was doing. I know that's what we should do. It should be cold out there, guys. I'm talking about so cold, bone cold. When I tell you bone cold, bone cold. If you know what bone cold is, ask somebody in your family, they'll tell you what bone cold is. It was stark cold out there, guys. I'm serious. It was. And I was 10, 9, but I was being taught how to be a man and not complain. So I remember these lessons in life. So I wish you guys the best. I wish yourself, it's time to put on your big boy underwear, your big girl underwear, and don't complain. I love you. I know you can do this. You're America. We've been through way worse than this. Nobody complaining, but you're a different generation, and you're going to be all right. You're going to be strong. You're going to make it through. You're going to persevere. Don't beg nobody. Don't go out there and hurt nobody. Don't go out to make yourself better for 1 month. You know, there's people gonna make you jealous. There's people you're gonna feel like they ain't better than you. That's feelings, as I said. But you got to think through that. There's gonna be people in a better position you're gonna see black people, Mexican people, white people. They're gonna have things, and you're gonna remember when you used to have something and you ain't got it no more. Don't judge nobody. Just understand it and let that be motivation for you to push forward. Don't do that. Don't let your heart get like that. let me get the last thing what I said. When I came back to my state, I lost everything. Listen to me, America. I lost everything. I had to stay in a hotel, not even a hotel, Travel Lodge, one of them inns. I had to pay $500 depending $500 $600 a week. I worked 2 jobs to cover that. I worked my butt off. I should be so tired, guys. So tired. I fall asleep in the chair. I was so tired, but I kept pushing because I had to. After I picked the truth out, I had to say I had a 16-year-old boy that's finishing school. I had to struggle. I ain't complain. I was on my own. I didn't complain. I ain't perfect, but I didn't complain. I kept on pushing. For over a year, I paid $2,some hundred, almost to $3,000 a month just for rent. And I worked 2 jobs, America, 2 jobs, where I made, with everything, I made about $40-some hundred a month. And it would fluctuate. Then it dropped down. And I struggled. But them few months I made it, I put what I had away. I caught the bus. I ate top ramen, noodles, anything, noodles and oodles. I ate anything I could do to keep my budget down. And I told you guys, I applied for food stamps. I got food stamps. They said, you want cash? I said, no. I could go work. They said, you sure don't want you can apply for food cash? I said, no. I just want some help with food. That'll help me. That whatever you give me will help me. I got a 17-year-old son. He's still underage and is in school. I want this last period to help him. I ain't asked for nobody else. I just want a little bit of help. If some lady told me I'd come down and get some little help with the food stamps, if that could help out food. Now his living and everything, and if not, I still take whatever I had and cut down on that, and I pay for that. But what I would not do is beg, which I was begging, but I took advantage of this. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, I had food stamps at one time, multiple times, but I didn't complain. They offered me other things, I didn't take them because I felt that's taking advantage. That was me. A lot of people called me stupid. That's your decision. But I think I'm glad for what Americans do. I know tax dollars pay for this. So I understood. And I went to work. And God made a way for me. It was God all the way. Made a way for me. And I kept moving forward. I bought a car. Now we have a car. We always catch the bus. I had to catch him up, pick him up, be there early. I almost lost one job because I had to get him at certain times. It's like, oh, he's old enough, but he doesn't know how. He never had to. He always had a car. Remember I said I was doing good at one time. So all he knew was good. He never knew how to do all this. So this is all learning new for him. So I made it through, guys. You can do it too. So when everybody's living good, let me tell y'all, when everybody making good salaries, $30 an hour, $40 an hour, making good money, I was next door to broke. And didn't complain. Didn't like it, but didn't complain. I kept pushing. Now, my son is out of high school, is in college, and I'm moving forward. And now the country's breaking down. Now y'all finna feel what I've been feeling. But now I'm comfortable again. I done got through all that high society thinking. Now I'm back. I normalized myself. Now I'm back to living. Understand? From paycheck to paycheck in order to make things happen. I'm not tripping on other things. I understand life. I went through that storm for 2 years. I don't have a big place. I have a little studio, guys. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I have a studio, but it's all right. It's all right. It keeps me warm, keeps my son warm. I help him through college. And when he come visit me, he's older now, so he's doing his own thing. I love him, but he's a young man now. He's about to be 21. Now I respect it, and I don't get in his way. But what I'm trying to tell you, America, you got to move forward in your own action because things are going to hit hard starting now, and it's needed. Don't complain. Hunker down. Get close to your family and move forward. We're finna have some major changes in the American landscape. Don't get caught up in all these emotional people that's out here running these streets. Let them do what they're gonna do. Wisen up. Sharpen your tools. Build your skills. If you gotta work 2 fast food restaurant jobs, work them. Don't complain. If you get $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, and you gotta pay $3,500, you guess what? You got $500. Look at that. What, man? You got $500. Look at that. That's $500 you didn't have from January. I mean, from October 1st to October 30th. You didn't have $500. You got $500, man. Look at that. And you didn't live. You warm. You gotta take a shower. You got food to eat. You got a roof over your head. Your kids all right. Your family's all right. You batting 100. You batting 1,000. You doing all right. Well, whatever they got a Mercedes, that's them. We're talking about you. Quit looking at them. Look at you. Be happy where you at. Be happy your family's. Well, I usually have more than used to. That was then. That's not now. You're American. You understand there's ebbs and flows. There's ups and downs. Understand this. Let go of the illusions. Understand where you're at. And keep pushing through. I hope this message don't fall on deaf ears. I'm seeing a lot across the American landscape. I hope that you take the wisdom out of here, the jewels out of here, and put them into your place, and know that you're not on your own. I wish you the best and of success. This Prince of Love Heart, your host, for Face to Face with the Nation. Have a wonderful day.